Well, hello, good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today, in this session, it's midweek, it's Wednesday. In fact, it's Wednesday the 30th of October. So you know what that means, don't you? B-Day, budget day, taxes, national insurance, NHS, public spending, you name it. It's all going down today. B-Day isn't budget day, of course. It is Bass Day. I've been toying with the idea for a while that I wanted to try and, well, it's twofold really. I set myself a challenge this year. I want to catch a bass on a lure in October and possibly November as well. So I'm right on the cusp. I could have cheated really and had a 2-day trip over, staggering the 31st and the 1st, but I'll do it the proper way. It's Wednesday. I was looking at the weather, sat at work, and I was like, sod it, I'm just gonna get away and get over here and hopefully catch some fish. So I've come on a little bit of a road trip. I've had my breakfast. The other reason, of course, is that I bought a roof tent back in April, May. Did a pretty first-class job of smashing it to pieces when I picked up my mate because I forgot it on the roof. I had like a height-restricted steel lintel between two garages, bang. So I had to replace the whole top of the roof. Anyway, luckily a pal of mine sorted it out. Helped us sort it out. And I thought, right, I need to get some use out of it before it's too late. So we've got quite a high pressure system over the UK at the minute. It's very mild. It's probably, even when I woke up, I doubt it dipped much below 10 degrees during the night, to be fair. So it's pretty mild. And there's not a lot of wind today. I have found bass fishing with lures sometimes can be tricky when there's no movement. Fortunately though, we're approaching some of the biggest tides of the sort of fortnightly cycle, so the tides are building all the time, which should work in my favour. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to be using light gear, tail walk, 8'7" I think it is, 5 to 21 gram. I've used it that many times, I can never remember though. Shimano Vanquish 3000 mHg, that's going to be loaded with Suffix, is it 181 Go braid, and I use 18 pound in the green colour. Probably 3 foot, 25 pound fluoro leader tied with an FG knot. And I like to use the little mini breakaway links. I've used all sorts over the years, and I find that they're probably the most reliable. Lures, the water temperature still looks like it's just about maybe 12, 13 degrees, which is borderline for bass. 13's okay, but you start getting to like dipping to below 12 to 11. They're still there, but once you get below 11, it can get a bit cooler. So we're going to get out there, give it a crack. I've got a couple of marks in mind. I'm going to fish, what time are we on now? Just gone 9:15. So high water's about 10:30. I'm going to have a fairly leisurely start. I've got everything packed away. I've sat and had my breakfast. I'm going to grab a coffee somewhere, have another look at the conditions once I get to where I'm going to go, and then get on it really. Probably fish down into dusk. Clocks have gone back, so I'm going to be losing the light from probably 4 o'clock, maybe earlier. It's mad, isn't it? I can't believe the whole year's gone. But anyway, what that does mean is that dusk's going to come a bit quicker. As you probably all know, with bass fishing, dusk and dawn tend to be the times when you've got a bit more chance, I find personally anyway. So, without further ado, let's go. Let's get on it. very, very patient in more than one way, and not just for the tide, because I had to walk back to the car because I opened my bag up while I was waiting for the tide to drop and realised that I'd very cleverly forgot me warmer jacket and me lunch. Question is, like with any bass session, are they here? And I'm putting on good old faithful patch 125. The tides are building, although I'm not seeing loads of tide run just yet. Sometimes as it gets shallower it starts to kind of intensify a little bit, but we'll see. I'm feeling confident. It's overcast. Tide should still be, well, it is moving quickly. It's dropping quite quickly all the time. And it's getting dark. It will be very soon, so let's just see if we can get that October lure caught bass. Well, I've just had a fish on, and as usual, instead of just getting it in and showing it to the camera, I'm trying to put the camera on, and consequently I've lost it. Didn't feel like a big fish, but it was a fish. Right, we've got a fish, Is it a bass? Yep, it's a bass. It's not a big fish, but it's a fish. Right. Tell you what, for a smallish fish, it's putting a bloody good account of itself. Right. Yes. Mission accomplished. An October lure caught bass. People, fantastic. Right. Right, there we are. I don't know if you can pick that up in the camera, but he's obviously very, very angry. The blue on his fins there, especially when I saw that in the water. Brilliant. Not a big fish, maybe 1 3/4, something like that, but a bass on a lure in October and the second last day of October. So there's obviously fish here. That's 2 fish I've had in the space of about 10 minutes, so we'll see if we can get something a bit bigger. Right, get that lure out the way, and hopefully on the camera there you can watch him swim off. We'll just get a bit of air into his lungs. He's biting. He's a strong fish. The blue on those fins is incredible. There he is, look at that. Fantastic. This is a better fish. Oh, much better fish. Right, just concentrate on what you're doing, David. Don't start messing around with the camera. Keep that light tight. Powerful fish this, it's just got me drag. I'm just going to loosen it a touch because it's staying very deep. Strange this, I don't know if this is a pollock. What the hell is going on here? It's staying very deep, this fish. Is it foul hook? Oh, if it is, I've got to watch. Yeah, I've got to watch these rocks and that leader. I had a feeling it would wake up as I got closer. God, it's not a big fish, it's just incredibly lively. He's only nicked in the lip. Get in there. Yes. Marvellous. Right, there he is. Tell you what, the power of these autumn bass is incredible. That felt like easily 4 or 5 pound fish, that when it first hit. It did something that a bass, I've never had a bass do. It stayed very, very deep the whole way in. I've never experienced that. He's slightly bigger, maybe 2 1/4, he might go 2 1/2. Really, really powerful fish. Really, really happy with that. Right, it's 2 fish in maybe 20 minutes. Let's just see if the granddaddy is out there. It's just a nice little bit of ripple on the water from that westerly. And just an ever so slight bit of movement on the top, a little bit of swell, just with the water getting shallower and the tide racing over the reefs. And there's a little tinge of colour, which is exactly how I like to bass fish. I find when it's gin clear, you definitely do catch fish when it's gin clear, but I always feel like the fish are so much more confident when there's that little tinge of colour. It must just be that predatory instincts know that they can sneak up on sand eels, sprats, mackerel, whatever. And obviously shellfish. I've just seen a fish top out there. Oh, this. I just like to move it maybe half a dozen times. Oh, is that a rise? And then just stop. And you can vary how you work the lure. You can either go really aggressive, or you can just slower you go with bigger movements left to right, the more that lure will just sort of snake across the water. It's all personal preference, to be honest. This fish there, I think they'll pretty much take the lure if they want it. Right, just because of that little bit of chop, and I mean a little bit, I just fancy whacking the bigger brother patch 140 on, just to create that little bit more disturbance. Sorry, that was a patch 140, I said. I was speaking with my mouth full there. Half tempted at some point to put a subsurface plug, just to create that little bit of vibration, but stupid, isn't it? You catch 2 fish in quick, well, 3 actually, quick succession. I lost the first one because I was trying to get the camera on. And your mind's still thinking about, shall I do something totally different? You think, why would you do that? Why? Oh, was that a little follow, or was it that lure? Oh, Jesus, we've got a powerful fish here. My God. Bloody hell, this is a good fish. Christ. God, that's taken us about 20 odd yards there. I mean, Jesus. My God, this is a good fish. Oh, it hasn't got as fast as it. Oh, it's got as fast, I don't believe it. Oh, no, is it coming? It's coming, it's coming. I'm gonna have to tighten that drag up a little bit. It's a good fish, this. Jesus. God, I've never known a run like it. don't believe the power of these fish. I don't know what they've been eating like, but super mackerel. Hello, hang on. It's not bad fish, but it's not massive power in it. It's absolutely insane. Right, now he's gonna go a little bit. So, oh no, he is. He's not a bad fish. He's not a bad fish. Ah, he's a good one. He's a good one. Right, bit more line in, and in. In you go. Come here. Come on. Yes. Whew. Yeah, he's a better one. Right, just need some line off that spool before I snap my rod tip. Whew. God, that was some scrap, that. Yeah, he's a better one. He's good. I'd say a good 4. He felt about 7 or 8, to be honest, though. Absolutely huge. Oh, he's a nice fish, him, like, he is a nice fish. So wide. Right, first things first. Let's just try get that hook out of him. Oh, he's unhooked himself. That is very convenient. Oh, don't damage yourself, fella. Don't damage yourself. Right. Yeah, he's a better one. Right. Look at that. Absolutely stunning autumnal bass. He gave me, that's probably not quite, I don't know, it'd be 50s. I've caught fish into the 60s and that fish fought so much harder. I thought that was a real big one there, but superb fish. Look at that, just in that autumn sun as it's going down. Absolutely nailed that patch. I'm really happy with that. That's the 3rd landed fish. 5th one that I've had hooked but lost, but brilliant. I'm going to revive him in a rock pool, get a quick picture of him, and then send him on his way. But big cavernous mouth. Superb. Proper predator, the bass, isn't it? Look at that with its fin just topping. Full of life. I should really be out there fishing, but I'm just quite enjoying just admiring the aquarium, to be honest. Right, we'll scoop him out with a net and then get him back into the tide so he can gorge himself on whatever it is he's been feeding on. Absolute steroid food by the way he fought there. I think just for experimentation purposes, I'm going to put on a shallow diver, and the one I'm going to put on is, I think I'm going to go for an IMA Eyebone. I don't want to go for a Hound Glide because the two tend to run a little bit deeper, and I'm not fishing into much depth in front of us, and when you're paying the price you pay for lures these days, you didn't want to be losing them. So what I'm putting on is an IMA Eyebone. That's 118 floating shallow diver, and that's in the Bora colour, so nice natural silvery colour. Cast like a bullet, it'll run fairly shallow. So if I can untangle the top of my rod, and hopefully, along with doing all of that fancy stuff, it'll imitate a mackerel that these fish have been chasing. Whoop, there's a fish. Yes, too busy rattling on. I did see a little bit of like a little line on the surface. I wasn't quite sure if it was just my line, but it's obviously a fish smashing into that lure. Here's me waffling on about my rod. I don't think it's a big fish, like, but it is a fish. It is a fish. Another lively, lively little bass. Well, change of lure seemed to do the damage. When you pick them up, get your thumb into the mouth, down the side, and just get a good tight grip. Get your hand underneath and you'll get out the way of those sharp spines on his dorsal and on the side of his gills as well. So little one, probably the smallest of the session, hard scrapper. Good jobber. There you go. Good job scratching me weight out. Bass do have a little bit of slime on them as well, which is why I've got this very attractive tea towel from Nigella's kitchen. Right, I just fancy a couple of trucks with one of my old. This was one of the original lures that I bought, and the action on it is absolutely brilliant, and it's very, very well suited to this area. It's Tackle House feed shallow, 128, 18.5 gram. You can see I've put a couple of decoy trebles and I've kept, that isn't the original treble. I tend to replace mine and put the oh, what kind are the same ones you get on the Pachinkos. I just prefer them. I think the quality's so much better. It casts like an absolute pig, but it catches fish like Brad Pitt on a disco floor. So what I have found with them, the smaller 105 feed shallow casts so much better than these, but the action on this, it's like a really sort of wide slalom. And I found with this particular lure, like quite a few different bass lures, if you lengthen your drop a bit, obviously look what's behind you, and don't hit it hard, and just like a nice sweeping action, it tends to go a bit better. If you hit it harder with a snatchy action, it just spins and you barely get anything out of it. But as soon as you start turning, you can feel on the end of the rod the action on it. It's brilliant, and it just works probably no more than a foot, I would say. And obviously you can fish it slightly shallower if you raise your rod tip a little bit. So we've got, where are we, 20 to 4. We're about an hour below bottom water, but we are losing the light. I think sunset's about 4:15, so I'm gonna have maybe 10 minutes with this, and then I will go back to surface lures just for the last 15-20 minutes of light before it gets too dark. And I just got a hit there. I've just caught a bit of kelp, and then I might have a look out into the dark, have a little mooch about. I'm in the roof tent tonight, and I just pulled up at a spot last night, not a campsite or anything, just pretty much a, oh, Jesus, there's a fish. Oh, my God, power of these fish is incredible. They're not big fish either, they're just insanely powerful at the minute. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like, could it be similar to pike, where, you know, fisheries like, take Esthwaite for example, in the Lake District, the pike season I think is like October to March or April, and that's because they don't like them being caught in the summer, because it's obviously the lakes get a lot warmer than the sea, but it's because of the higher temperature just wears the fish. And I just wonder if the slightly colder water has just like charged them up a little bit. This is probably, no, this isn't a bad fish actually. It's not as big as that other one, but it's not bad. Good old feed shallow. Doing the damage still. Yep, he's not a bad fish. Come on, get in that net. Get in that net. That's it. He's not quite as big as that other one, but he's not far off. He's a nice fish, mind. He is a nice fish. And luckily, he's not, well, so far he's not caught in that treble. First things first, I'm going to have plenty of line off because it's a classic. You bend down, your tips arched round, so I'm just going to get that out of the way. These magnets are handy, little Rapala things, brilliant. They're almost too strong at times. Right, you get out of there. No, don't jump back into the hooks. As I said before, just get a nice firm grip. Get that out of the way. There he is. Just shows we're getting fish before on the surface lures, but don't watch it on stand on me reel. It's another really nice fish. He's very similar in size. He's probably not quite as deep on the guts, but absolute beauty. Look at the blue on the tinges of his fins, or her fins. I'm not really sure. Fantastic. Nice girthy mouth. Look at that fin perfect fish. He's been filling right up on mackerel or sprats or whatever, but brilliant. That is fish number 5. He's biting like hell. Go on. There he is. Nailed that tackle house surface lure. Not a big fish, but it's starting to pull a little bit there now. Come on, get out that kelp. God, these fish are so powerful, it's insane. This is the beauty about having your leader, because you can just pull it straight up. Right, come on fella, settle down, settle down. There's almost a bit more sort of green in that smaller fish there. I don't know if you can see that across his flank compared to the others. Nice powerful fish, great sport. Fish number 6 I think, and that's on a different lure, so we're working our way through the lure box today, aren't we? That's for sure. Let's see if I can put him back without smashing me head open. There he is. Away. Straight into that kelp. Right, it's gone slightly quiet. So my theory is that as this tides continue to drop, the fish might have just dropped back a little bit further out into slightly deeper water. So going for Savage Gear pencil SP 125 in, I don't know what that's called, if it's just natural sandy colour. And that's got one of those trebles that I've replaced. Are they, what kind are they? Are they decoy? No. Brain's not working today. I can't think of the names of anything. I'll put them up though on the video so you can see. The thing I find with the Savage Gear trebles, and it's just me, just my personal preference, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but personally I just find them a little bit too thin, and the problem is if you get a big fish, because they're so thin, they're like little needles, a shake of its head can easily tear through, whereas I find with those more substantial trebles and the fact that they slightly curl in at the end, you just get a better hook hold, and it doesn't impede the action of the lure either, because obviously some lures are quite susceptible to the hooks you put on them. They can react differently, but these pencils are all right. So just as I thought it was going quieter there, something has hit that pencil. It's almost got more of a pollock feel to it, this. It's like a slow bang, and then it's not really like digging around like a bass, but maybe it's just a lazy one, because all the bass so far have been really, really energetic. I can see it out there swimming up the tide, so maybe it's going to go crazy in a second, I don't know. What have we got here? I know it is. It's a bass. Right. I was just thinking it was going. Come on. He's not a bad one, actually. I think he's probably the third biggest of the day, I would say. Come on. It's a strange fight compared to the others. Oh, he's not a bad fish at all. And that pretty much proves what I was just saying about why I like those hooks. Now he's probably going to go berserk. But you can just see that's right in the hard part of his mouth. And whoops. Oh, that was lucky. The hook didn't come out, the split rings failed. So the treble is still in his mouth now. I need to be very careful here, because I'm quite far away from everything, and I do not want one of these in me finger. But so that wasn't actually the hook that failed, it was the split ring. Let's have a look at it. Right, yep, he's probably the third biggest of the day. He's probably maybe 3, something like that. Totally different fight to the rest of them, but still lovely fish all the same. It's getting dark, we're about to get a little bit of rain. That's fish number 7. Wow, it's been an incredible session. Let's get him back. And see if we can catch something else. Whoops, he's away straight away. He doesn't want to go. He swam right back around my feet. Hopefully you can see that. Well, people, we're on bottom water now, and it's gone very, very quiet. I've put surface lures back on, subsurface, soft plastics, nothing. All of the bait fish activities dried up as well, so it just seemed that it was one of those times where with bass fishing, luckily in the right place at the right time, I managed to hit a few fish. So I think I ended the session there with 7, couple around about 4, one about 3, and then 4 schoolies. So more than happy with that, and the October Bass on a Lure Challenge has certainly been accomplished, so I'm pleased with that. I just need to go and find somewhere to park up and sleep for the night, really. Gonna have to go and scour Google Maps and have a bit of a drive round. Of course, the problem is by the time I drive round, it's going to be pitch black, and where we are is pretty remote. and it's really, really overcast. So when I say black, I mean pitch black. Anyway, all part of it. So as always, hopefully you've enjoyed that. Finally a video with some fish, because it's been a wee bit tricky on the old cod front, but yeah, managed to come good with a session, a decent session, so more than happy with that. Hope you've been out and about getting a few. As always, thanks very much for watching. Tight lines, keep fishing, and we'll see you on the next one.